Well, what a sight this is, a beautiful evening, and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing.
England.
I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Well, thanks, Peter. There's a great sense of anticipation in this stadium, and I've been hit by it too.
Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. If you have just joined, you have just missed the kick-off.
It appears to be a 4-4-2 formation, Jim.
I think it gets a terrible raw deal these days. It's deemed old-fashioned, outdated, but in truth, with the right personnel, it works just as well as any other system or formation. Success can still be had with it, and teams are still winning big trophies with exactly this setup.
Strong running down that left flank.
That is good strength. That is lovely. Well, there weren't too many attacking options there. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
Well, I think that move petered out due to a lack of urgency. There was no cutting edge.
And here's Vinicius Junior. Threads one in. He's onside. It's a sweet... Can he finish? Well, that is rather wayward.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
Well, the referee's pulled play back and has booked him for the original offence.
And here's Haaland. Well, that's a dangerous ball. Vinicius Junior. And he's there to belt it away.
Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Well, Cole Palmer could be standout here, Peter. We sometimes see him in a centre-forward position, but I like to see him play from the right side of attack, because that enables him then to be able to just drift inside on his left foot and then open up the pitch to see what he can deliver from there. And he's expert once he does tuck into those little spaces and pick out whoever's making the runs. And for that reason, I think he could be crucial.
Yes, they'll certainly be leaning heavily on him.
That's a nicely shaped ball. And it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Shapes to shoot! Goal! Inter! And we have liftoff!
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Inter are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
Yildiz. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
That's very neat. Looking for the run. Shot, surely!
Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces.
Eze plays it short. Haaland making good progress. Rice. Real chance! Oh, split-second reaction.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
England have their second corner now. Eze goes short. And it's Hakim. And the finish! Not a bad try by any means.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Haaland. This is promising. Well, that's pretty clear, it is a foul. This could spell real trouble. We know he has already been booked.
Barella has been given his marching orders. He had already been on a yellow card from a previous incident. Eze is behind this one. Great ball, and he's in here! And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. Eze. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them.
And the score is 1-0.
And it's Eze. Beraldo.
In the end, they found themselves penned in, nowhere to go. Good read, needed to be.
Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
No, he's just misjudged that one.
And he could have done himself a massive favour by just lifting his head up there. You know, it would have been a better picture of what was going on around him.
And that's a simple one for the keeper. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
And that is expertly dealt with. And that should get the job done. Nuno Mendes. Vinicius Junior. Now, can they get him away? And that brings the first half to a close. There's been no shortage of industry or intent thus far. A little inspiration and inventiveness, perhaps the only things lacking.
Hello everybody.
Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, this is when you need your players to step up, Peter. Be brave, see all that courage. They need to have a big start to the second half to give them some momentum, and they're not going to get that if they're being too risk-averse.
Inter Milan can be fairly satisfied then. It's so far so good for them, and it's 1-0 at the break. Down to business again. Inter Milan currently ahead by the smallest of margins. Oh, that's a key interception. Eze is onto it in a flash. Chouameni, well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Rice. Now it's Haaland. And he stands tall, impenetrable. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Aimed beyond the defence. Cross to the back post. Oh, good climb! Eze, and that's been intercepted. Bruno Fernandes. Here's Chouameni. That's been cut out, well played. Inter Milan are ahead here by what is still the only goal. Rice running with the ball. Mukiele. This might spell danger. Nice interception, well timed. And that was very necessary. And here's Haaland. Martinez, looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, better communication and lots of contact seems to be the route to quietening him down now.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, I'm inclined to feel that if I was in that dugout, I'd want the players to get on the front foot and grab another. Just try to make this one safe.
Eze.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Inter Milan have kept their powder dry on the substitution front so far. Could that be about to change?
It's about risk-taking and boldness now. Are we going to see any activity from the bench?
And it's Rice. Beraldo. Good take, and is he in? Expertly cut out, really nicely done. And he can thump it away. Beraldo. This looks promising. Goes for a shot! Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Wan-Bissaka. Now he's off and running. Haaland. Beraldo. Into the last quarter of an hour. Now it's Vinicius Junior.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Now this could be a chance. Shot at goal! And that is wildly off target.
Inter certainly looks sharp there. They're very well drilled in this art of counter-attacking.
Substitution for England, number 41.
The two coaches
Rice.
are signalling changes
Number
here, both at the same
23,
time.
Judes. Number 18, Eze. Number 8,
And it's
Vinicius
Rashford.
Junior.
And here's Dembele,
Number 21,
looking to play him in.
Erling Haaland.
And he's heaved it
Number
away.
24, coming on the field, number 22, Federico.
He's in a great position here.
Number 6,
Havertz, there's the shot! And he's stuck it away! England are back in business! Lacking for neither time nor space, it could scarcely have been more straightforward.
Such a smart finish, and the setup was very good too, but defensively, they didn't cover themselves in glory here.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
We're looking at a different game now.
Well, this ought to give them some renewed energy. If anyone's going to win it in normal time, you've got to make them favourites now.
Oh, that was vital.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
And here's Rashford. Can he get on the end of this?
That's just playing it safe and simple.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Well, they shouldn't be dawdling at this stage. They need to get the ball in the mixer and quickly.
Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Rabiot. 90 minutes done then, but that is not the end of it. So, that was the second half.
Well, we can only hope we get an extra time contest of similar ambition, provided fatigue doesn't begin to play a part.
So a battle of endeavour, enterprise, and now endurance.
Well, we are already up and running again.
Inter Milan conceded an equaliser late on. Now they have to do it all again. Do they have what it takes? And now the breakaway. Tries to play it through. Now it's Thuram.
Oh, really well played.
No, he's not getting past him there. Van Dijk defending his corner stubbornly. Stood up very well to his man. Brilliantly cut out. Oh, the touch is just too thick. Could really have done without that.
Yeah, it all looked so promising until unexpected sloppiness intervened.
Valverde. Mukiele. And Rafinha. Some really good ball movement. And he's managed to get rid. Chance here to counter. Valverde. Rafinha. No way through. Thuram. Can he spark a counter here? And it's Tchouaméni. Nuno Mendes. Looking for options for movement. That is a brilliant interception. Valverde. Rafinha.
Could move up a gear here.
Good ball, good take. Valverde. And he's certainly on. Shoots! So that was it, the first period of extra time.
Security staff for each block. Please report
Neither
to the
side
staff
able to
room
conjure up
immediately.
a telling moment, and we are where we are. This is the last chance to win it. And we're off for the final time. This really has been thrilling. Both sides going at it, and now for the final act. Locatelli. Cross deflected behind for a corner. He leaps for it. That's going to go a long way. England are looking to go forward now. Hakimi cuts it out, and it's Dembele. And that is a little undercooked. Thuram, and the counter is on. Tries to pass it through. That has been knocked clear. That's really well manoeuvred. And here's the chance to counter. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Tchouaméni is offering some sort of an apology there.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation, no more, no less.
Great vision. Mendes looking to receive it in space. Mukiele herring after the ball here. Hakimi. Havertz. Oh, good read. And it's Valverde. Has a look and plays it forward. Rabiot. That's it, there is no more. It is going to penalties. 90 minutes and then another 30, and Jim, here we are.
Well, winning it would have been too much to ask, given their situation. And they've done remarkably well to get this far, you know.
With the father of a boy in the green.
So we're all set, and we all know what is coming. It is that dreaded time. Dembele is first to take the long walk. And he duly obliges.
That's the example they will want to follow.
Locatelli, the next man to walk up to the spot. And he makes it one each. So both teams on the board. Rafinha, second in line for them. No! Denied remarkably! That is how you answer the call.
Gamesmanship or not, Peter, whatever he did worked a treat. Well, if you have any doubts, that's what you do to conquer it.
This for parity.
It was well disguised, it gave no inkling as to where he was going on that.
We're on to number 3 here. That's a brilliant read.
I think some mind games were played there, Peter. It certainly did the trick.
Valverde is fourth up. Great stop! And the keeper punches the air.
Well, I think he had the measure of that all the way, Peter, and he is pumped.
No! Hit it straight down the keeper's throat. And the drama continues. Havertz, last of the original 5 to walk forward. Oh, it's a really good save.
Well, he felt the goalkeeper outstared him there, which gave him the edge. This to win it. No pressure, of course.
Oh, he's won it all right. So in the end, they just about prevailed. All the emotional torture and travails, worth it in the end.
Quick reminder today.
Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. Well, I'm Peter Drury, and I'm joined in the commentary box by the familiar figure of Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. We're up and running then. With so many teams now playing just one up front, Jim, it's easy to forget, isn't it, that strike partnerships used to be the norm?
Absolutely, Peter, but partnerships have proven themselves to be very productive over the years. They carry more might.
And we've had some legendary ones, haven't we?
Yeah, and how it usually works is that you've got one target man with the other striker playing off him and just looking to add another little bit of devilment.
He's found Palmer! Priceless from Palmer! A finish right from the top draw! And Inter go in front! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
I doubt very much that this was in the script.
He is through here. Genuine physical edge about this game. It is quite attritional. And Martinez! He was certain to score. It is an inexplicable miss.
Well, it was going to take something a bit special from there, and that wasn't it.
Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. That's good running with the ball. Can he get it through? Oh, he's found support out wide. Bruno Fernandes. A probing pass. Bruno Fernandes. That is a brilliant interception. Inter Milan leading here thanks to that early goal. 1-0 the score. Bruno Fernandes. Now it's Martinez. Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, really well played.
Great vision. It's a promising position. Now it's Vinicius Junior.
England really look like a team that's set up to absorb pressure. They don't mind being on the back foot.
But with something up their sleeve.
Yeah, they clearly feel they can hit hard on the counter-attack thanks to their pacey options.
Hakimi. Yildiz. Truthfully, it was hard to see any better outcome there. Well timed, excellent interception. Can he get on the end of this? Now it's Haaland. Van der Ven with the foul.
And the referee has shown him a yellow card.
Beraldo. And it's Hakimi. And he's in on goal. Oh, that's a fine interception. And he's quick to get rid. Bruno Fernandes, absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but...
Shapes to shoot! It's a goal! They are right back in business.
Well, you have to credit the desire there. These boys knew they were in a battle, and they did exactly what was needed to get back into it. That's going to make the boss just a little happy now.
He made it happen, squeezed through with sheer will and considerable accuracy.
Well, I'm sat here, Peter, thinking that the keeper might have done a little better then. Maybe his positioning wasn't great, but then again, I don't think he had a wonderful view of it.
England restore parity.
Well, I'd happily watch this every week, Peter. This is exactly what you want from a big game.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Vinicius Junior. And it's Tchouaméni. Barella. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And it's a corner. And we have our very first corner. Now that's a fine challenge. Well, that pass isn't the best. Barella. Plays it in low. So what can they make of this? Haaland powering forward here. Now it's Bruno Fernandes. Threads one in. Well, nicely intercepted. Eze. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Now it's Bruno Fernandes. Oh, perfectly measured that. Barella. And he's cut it out. It's a goal kick. Beraldo. And it's Eze. He's chosen to go back.
2 added minutes has been indicated.
And here's Yildiz. And here's Eze. Bruno Fernandes. The final seconds now. Palmer looking understandably energised after his goal. That's the end of the first 45. Well, the glass is either half full or half empty. Neither side yet truly to impose themselves, and it's level pegging at half-time. So, nothing in it, Jim. What do you think?
Well, it's been a decent game so far, Peter, although I think in the next 45 minutes we could do with the ball being moved around quicker with a view to trying to entice their opponents out of position. I don't think there'll be a mad rush to do that just yet.
So, all square at half-time, each side matching the other blow for blow. Martinez! That's put paid to the danger. Rolls it backwards.
Just too much pressure. Had to go that way.
Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Eze has got himself a free kick. Rice. And that's a throw-in. Ball's out, it'll be a throw-in again. That has been cut short. Yildiz. And here's Vinicius Junior. Tries to play it through. It's Van Dijk. Wan-Bissaka. That's been drilled forward. Saliba kept his eye on it, and he's there. This is a promising build-up. Eze. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Martinez is being harried and hassled.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
Van Dijk did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. And that is a little undercooked. Well, the manager might be thinking of shuffling his pack here.
It's about risk-taking and boldness now. Are we going to see any activity from the bench?
Now it's Haaland. Gives it back. Passing is crisp and sharp. Barella. And it's Bruno Fernandes. Now it's Martinez. Martinez! Goal! Inter! And again they hit the front. And that really is so impressive.
Substitution for England, number 18.
So we have movement on
Eze.
both benches.
Number 24.
Inter Milan have their
41.
lead.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
Number 21.
Brilliantly cut out.
Erling Haaland.
It's a decent clearance.
Coming on the field.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Number 6, Rafinha. Number 17, Dembele.
Dembele,
Substitution.
Inter Milan do have a chance to counter here. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. Dealt with nicely by the defence.
Substitution for England, number 8, Vinicius Junior. Coming on the field is number 19, Rashford.
Once more, he proves
Substitution in
rigid
progress.
and robust. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. He's got away.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Looking for the run. He's found space here. That's tidy. Played in by Barella. Oh, well played. And it's Barella. Tries to pass it through. He's in a great position here. And the shot! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
Inter certainly looks sharp there. They're very well drilled in this art of counter-attacking.
Rafinha. Havertz. Havertz showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Well, there's the clearance. And he's only too happy to take that back. Very much into the last knockings. Passes short and sharp. It's Dembele! And yes, it's there! And right near the end, we have parity. Back to parity, and there's barely any time left.
Well, those players out there must be exhausted now, Peter, but at least they have momentum, which augurs well if this goes to extra time.
And it's Mendes.
2 added
Oh,
minutes
great
has
feat,
been
that.
indicated.
Bruno Fernandes. Well, they've got it again. Picked out brilliantly. So that means another 30 minutes football. So, that was the second half.
Well, look, this has been a hard-fought encounter, Peter, so mistakes are far more likely over the next 30 minutes.
So, a battle of endeavour, enterprise, and now, endurance.
Hello everybody, and a quick announcement now. We would like to ask you all to kindly stay seated during the match. Thank you for your cooperation.
So our quest to find the winner continues.
Inter Milan pay the price for failing to close out the match in normal time. Can they avoid the same fate here, where the consequences are still more serious? And here's Rashford. And he shoots! So is that it? Is this the moment they stole it? Unstoppable. Just how do they contain him?
Dembele demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
England leading now. Dembele! And it's come back out to him. Dembele. Thuram. To Barella. Wan-Bissaka. It's a good run down the right. Mbappe. Great chance! And the difference is still one, but only just.
Thuram clearly wanted to level things up in a hurry here. It didn't quite come off for him, but top marks for the effort.
Saliba gets it away. And it's Wan-Bissaka. Good take, and is he in? Mukiele, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Now that's well seen too. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moments.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
So there's the whistle, and we will have a brief break.
This is a lost children's
The teams then separated by just one significant moment. How telling will that be? The next 15 minutes will decide. Is there to be drama in these final 15 minutes? This has been enthralling. So what do the last 15 minutes have left? And here's Thuram. Looking for a runner. Chips it through. It's Dembele! Looked to surprise the keeper, but missed the target.
Well, the correct option was taken in the circumstances. The correct execution wasn't.
Valverde. Rafinha. Here's Locatelli. Van Dijk promptly onto that, and that is that. Inter Milan are running out of time and out of options.
Well, I like to see, Peter, that they haven't given up yet, so the spirit burns on.
And he's managed to get free. That's good play. And it's Valverde. Another pass just keeps it ticking over.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Rashford. That's a sharp pass.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Nicked it back promptly. Nice looking ball. No, he's just misjudged that one. Now he's off and running. And the referee brings it to a close. A game that is a tale of one that got away. A position of great promise they established, but they lost momentum, they lost intensity, they lost their lead. Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Thanks for the intro, Peter. I've been soaking up the atmosphere and I'm really looking forward to what lies in store.
Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. We are just getting started. Shot, surely! Now that is commitment to the cause. And we have our very first corner. Impressive jump! And it's been hooked away. Eze is there to clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. He's found the way through. This might spell danger. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, Peter, Aurelien Tchouameni is someone I see as being a real tour de force in that midfield. He's a tireless worker. I've heard so many people say he's just a nightmare to try and get away from. A real destroyer whose abilities on the counter-press are very potent.
Yes, they'll certainly be leaning heavily on him.
Brilliantly cut out. That'll be a corner.
Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces.
And he's there to clear it. And now they can spring out of defence.
And it's Eze. Looking to play him in. Haaland! Goal! England! England take the lead.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
England are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Oh, what has happened here?
Vinicius Junior.
Inter are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Dealt with nicely by the defence. Yildiz. England are a team that's fond of the low block. They sure defend in numbers.
Yeah, the whole point being to go back to front as quickly as possible, Peter. Of course, once the ball has been won.
Yeah, balls over the top, long diagonals, that's the plan. Yildiz. And here's Haaland. Now it's Rice.
Oh, good-looking ball. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy.
Vinicius Junior.
That's going to go a long way.
Wan-Bissaka.
He's got away.
Aimed beyond the defence.
Great ball, and he's in here.
Eze. It's loose now, and they want to get it back. Martinez. And it's Palmer. And it's Bruno Fernandes.
Challenged just a bit on the firm side.
Nuno Mendes. Oh, easy pickings there. Eze. Now it's Haaland. Now it's Eze.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. That's good running with the ball.
Bruno Fernandes. And here's Palmer.
Now, can they get him away? Oh, well played.
Van Dijk calmly anticipates. Palmer. Knocks it into...
There's the shot! And yes, it's there! They have hauled themselves right back into it.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
A momentary lapse mercilessly exploited. They were absolutely lethal.
The danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
So they have it all to do again.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Eze.
That's really well manoeuvred.
Eze. Haaland
Goes for a shot! Goal, England! And they've got their lead back.
Well, I don't want to be overly harsh on the defensive side of things here, Peter, but the build-up was so slick and executed with such quality, it made life just that bit too difficult for them.
Has been indicated.
And now he has two. England have their lead.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
And for the first half, that is that. That was a very watchable and entertaining half of football, and it's fair to say that both teams have played their part.
Caution certainly not on the agenda here from both sides.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
Well, that just about sorts out the first 45 minutes, and we'll be back with the second very soon. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Inter can really do with some bigger names standing up here. At times they didn't even look as if they knew what they were doing.
Van der Ven kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Mbappe chasing after it. Palmer going forward. Haaland. Yildiz. And it's Rice. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And that's a foul. A simple decision for the referee. Saliba, Haaland is herring after that one. England have got it back and they'll have another go. And here's Lautaro Martinez. Bruno Fernandes. Palmer. Martinez looking in every way a marked man at the moment.
Yeah, and what they've got to realise, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now. Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
They just need to sort out their end product, and quickly.
Well, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Well, the manager might be thinking of shuffling his pack here.
Well, the manager must be thinking to himself whether he's got a game changer on that bench, and he needs to act quickly.
Rice. Oh, it's Eze. Now that's a fine challenge. And he's there to retrieve it. Barella.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Eze. For Rice. England are looking to break at pace. Rice. And he's cut it out. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
England clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup. Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Substitution for England.
Corner number 2 then.
Number 23, Yildiz.
And that has been cleared.
Number 21,
England are looking to go forward now.
Vinicius Junior. Number 41.
Now that's been intercepted.
Coming on the field.
Valverde.
Number 9.
Havertz.
Locatelli.
Nice looking ball.
Number 6.
England
Rafinha.
clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Number 17, Dembele.
And that is
Number
expertly
19,
dealt with.
Rashford.
Well, that is
Number
not the best
22,
ball, and he offers an
Federico
apologetic
Valverde.
look.
Well, that's
Substitution
down
in
to
progress.
a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Dembele going face to face with his great rival. Oh, right place, right time. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time.
I'm struggling to work out whether that was brave or a bit stupid. Maybe both, actually.
Oh, that... And the shot! Inter Milan now in a position of desperate urgency.
Well, I like to see, Peter, that they haven't given up yet, so the spirit burns on.
Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Oh, it's Dembele. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Inter Milan could have here their final chance.
Well, they've got to get everyone forward, and maybe even the keeper.
Van Dijk attempts a clearance. Wan-Bissaka. Great vision. Now there's a fight. Can he finish? And he's stuck it away. They have stolen level at the last. Lacking for neither time nor space. It could scarcely have been more straightforward.
And the first thing he's going to do here, Peter, is thank his teammate for the pass. It put it on a plate for him.
Substitutions taking place.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. So all square with almost no time remaining.
Well, those players out there must be exhausted now, Peter, but at least they...
Chance for a shot! Oh, he's done it! A game of margins, a game of thrills. This might just do it.
And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
That's expertly fit.
And that will be the final act. Inter Milan perhaps feeling a little aggrieved with this final score. They clearly feel that their efforts warranted something more. Well, how will we look back on that?
Well, Peter, this was probably more slugfest than a game of football, but I actually found it very enjoyable. A game that was constantly on the edge as both sides went full pelt trying to win this. A throwback to games gone by.
Well, thanks to Jim alongside me, and as the fans make their way home, so must we. Good evening to you.